There was a massive protest in Kenya yesterday, the 25th of June, 2025. And I don't know how many of you that's been following what is happening in Kenya. You know, they had protests some weeks ago, and the police shot a young guy, a guy of 22 years, if I'm not mistaken, close range. And this guy wasn't one of the protesters. He was just a guy that was selling things by the roadside. And fortunately, the guy survived. But unfortunately, he suffered a severe brain damage. His life will never be the same. There have been a lot of protests in Kenya. So many protests. We saw the one that happened last year. At the end of the day, after all these protests, after all this bloody revolution, the government keep winning. And I will tell you why. I want to tell you why protests or bloody revolution fails. They're not always the solution. You cannot really win the government from outside. Yes, you cannot really win the government of the day, G-O-D, from outside. And I will give you an example. During NSAS, we saw something that looked like a revolution. It was very tough in Nigeria, to the point that a lot of our politicians ran away. A lot of Nigerian politicians ran away. They traveled outside Nigeria. A void was created. There was an emptiness. But then, who will fill that void? That space that had been created, who will fill it in? At the end of the day, they came back and they won. Yes, the politicians came back. They put their head together. They know how to play the game better than every other person, and they won. And this is what keeps happening in Africa. After bloody revolution, protests, a lot of people will die. At the end of the day, the government wins. Last year, after Kenya protest, people were thinking that there will be a regime change. At the end of the day, the government came, gave them a lot of fake promises. They went home smiling, and here we are again. Here we are again in 2025. Guys, when your government, the executive, the judiciary, the legislation, when all of them are in cahoots, all of them are in the same business, all of them are eating your money together, they are dining and whining, there's no hope. Yes, there is no hope. It's until the righteous people get involved in politics. Yes, it's until the righteous people infiltrate the government and start a covert mission, start an underground plan. The government will keep winning. Look at the Arab Spring of 2010. Before the Arab Spring, there have been a lot of opposition. There are people that are already preparing themselves to take over. But you don't see it in a company like Nigeria. The government at the end of the day, after that bloody revolution, blood will litter all the streets. The government will still come back and they will still win because the emptiness, the void that is created, there is nobody to fill it in. The righteous people are scared. The righteous people don't want to get into dirty game. Politics is so dirty and they don't want to get involved. The government will continue to win.